Well, I want to thank all of you for coming. I can think of a lot of different things that you could be doing. My goal this evening is to share something that will help someone. Um, as my cousin Joel said, I'm Joel Brenneman. Um, and I'll share a little bit what maybe why we got started with LifeVantage. Um, and if anyone has questions, feel free to ask. The only dumb question is the one you're afraid to ask. So, um, yeah, I truly feel very blessed to have found out about LifeVantage. It came in a very critical part of my life, and I don't say that lightly at all. When I was born with a genetic heart problem, and I had a lot of digestive issues at a very young child, and but then in by 2012, by that time I was married. We had 4 children, and I thought life was very good. But by 2013, we started going from doctor to doctor, trying to figure out what was going on. I was really struggling with my health. By fall of 2013, I was on 28 different pills for a lot of different health reasons. Lyme's disease, chronic fatigue, depression, a lot of different things. And a lot of people meant it well. They brought us supplements. They told us what doctor to go to. It was a rough time. We were almost losing our farm financially because I couldn't work anymore. And by February of 14, the doctors gave me 18 months to live. It was a very hard time. I remember one evening, we felt that we should tell our children about it. Our oldest was just, I want to say around 4.5 or so. And we told her, and it was really hard for me because I remember one thing that she said that evening. She crawled in my lap and she took my head in her hands, and she looked right in my eyes and she said, "Dad, you cannot die. We need you." That tore my heart apart. But about 2 weeks later, I was so sick I helped my wife plan my funeral. And there's no words to describe those days. And I hope now that I never forget to thank God for my health every day, because if we don't have God in our life and health and family, we don't have anything really. So I heard about these products. I was not interested. I was used to supplements, and I always said what works for one person doesn't always work for everyone else. And when I heard about these products, I put these products in that same category. And I am not against supplements. We still use some supplements. But what really intrigued me was here is something that is proven by many medical universities that it reduces oxidative stress. And if we ask doctors what oxidative stress is, most of them honestly don't know, because they weren't taught about the natural health. Not a lot. Some of them do. But when I heard about this, they told me that it reduces oxidative stress and helps fight free radicals. And those words didn't mean a lot to me because I really didn't know. But when they told me that there are many different medical universities that took a look at this and actually studied these products, the NRF2 activator, with their own money, the company didn't pay for it. that caught my attention because I had a lot of heart problems, and the American Heart Association did a study. Um, the American Cancer Association, a lot of different universities did studies on these products, and that got my attention. Uh, so, yeah, thanks to my wife, I reluctantly started taking some of these products, and I am very thankful because less than 18 months later, I was off all my medications, including my depression medication. Uh, we cannot claim to mitigate, cure, or prevent any diseases. And the doctors to this day tell me that it just happened that I got rid of my disease. Um, they say that uh, nothing natural could have done what happened to me. Um, well, like I said, I don't want to forget to thank God for the healing because um, obviously he led us to this company and made a huge impact in our life. We were blessed with another child after I was better. We had 4 at the time. We have 5 now. Oldest will be 19 soon, and the youngest will turn 9. So we're blessed with 5 healthy children. And you know, my goal is just to be a little candle and just light up one person's day, one person's life a day. I know that's maybe a small goal, but when I think about all the people that are struggling, that are looking for a solution, my goal is just to help spread the word, and what you do with the information is totally up to you. I'll start a little bit with the research on the company. Um, there was a Dr. Joe Porter started doing research, and it took him quite a long time, over 30 years, to come up with the original formula for the NRF2 activator. What the NRF2 does is it reduces oxidative stress, like I said, in up to 40% in 30 days. And by reducing the oxidative stress, we cannot say that it will treat or cure anything. But I can say that I have a lot of friends that we made over the years that for some reason their cancer disappeared, or their hormone issues disappeared, or many other things after they started taking the products. I'm going to let you decide what happens, but the NRF2 really helps build your new healthy cells, and gets rid of like infection and inflammation. It's it's something that I hope that I never have to do without. If I had to take everything else off the table, I would still want to take this because of what it does. And later they came up with the NRF1, and NRF1 is more for the brain and heart health. It increases the mitochondria production in the body. And there's a lot of research that we have, and like I said, I'll be happy to answer questions if you have questions anytime. But the NRF1, when this came out, I was a little bit reluctant to start taking it. But when I started, I had a lot more energy. I just felt a lot better. It was, I mean, how to explain it? It was just like I got a new set of glasses. I could just focus better, feel better. And then the NAD is a pathway in our cells that produces energy. Everyone has it. But as we age, the NRF2 pathway, our body makes less of the NAD. And the biggest thing for me, probably when I started taking the NAD, is I had a lot more energy during the day, and I slept a lot better at night. again, there's a lot of research on that. Those three together have changed many, many people's lives. The Omega Plus is a really big deal for skin health, heart health, brain health. I'll share a little story on this. A friend of mine had a boy. He was 8 years old at the time, really struggling in school. They had him on the NRF2, and they felt that it did help him, but when they added the Omega, it made a big difference with him. He could just focus better and had his work just came a lot easier in school. They have a daily vitamin. It's called Rise AM, Reset PM. The Rise AM, I'll back up a little bit. I had the chance to spend some time with the medical doctor that designed these products. But there was a team of medical doctors, but the main one I got to spend some time with, take some training under her. And what really impressed me was she said they researched a lot of supplements, vitamins, and did a lot of testing, extensive testing. And usually after about 24 hours, those vitamins, minerals were pretty well depleted in the body. And what they found was if you give your body what it needs in the morning, it'll give you energy and what you need throughout the day. Then the Reset PM will relax your body and give you what you need to get a full night's sleep. And I can honestly say we have had tremendous results with the Rise AM Reset PM. The vitamin D3, or the D3 Plus, I am probably about as excited about this right now because of some of the testimonies that we received back from people getting huge help with adding this with the other products for a lot of different things. I had a friend call me just recently that was really struggling with a lot of health issues, depression being one of the main ones. And he just said he felt so much better after the D3 Plus. Different person, well actually multiple different people told me that it really helped with the cavities in their mouth. Again, I say that because this is what people told me. We cannot say this is what it will do. But the D3 Plus, we are very, very excited about. The collagen, liquid collagen, many of us know about collagen. Collagen has been around for a long time, mostly advertised as helping get rid of wrinkles or helping with skin health. What LifeVantage did was they researched a lot of collagen that different companies had, and most of your collagens, and you're welcome to look this up, most of your collagens have 1, 3 at the most types of peptides in them. And this one has 10. I never thought that we would see what we see now when this came out. Yeah, anything from major knee, bone-on-bone issues to a lot of different things. I could mention a lot of things that people get results from. Then we have the prebiotic and the probiotic. The prebiotic is a powder, and I can honestly say that the biggest thing this did for me was I have always had major gut issues, constipation. After I started taking the prebiotic, I can honestly say it was a huge difference. The probiotic is a pill, 1 pill a day. I take mine at night right before I go to bed. And I used to be gluten-free. I used to eat gluten-free. And since I'm on these products, I can honestly eat anything that I want to within reason. Something nice can look a little bit. And it those and gut issues. What's that? Gut issues is something that really a specialty of mine. Maybe I do a lot of research on gut issues, and we work with a lot of. We do some youth counseling. We work with a lot of depression. And I can honestly say that I have never worked with anyone that was depressed that didn't have gut issues. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people with gut issues that aren't depressed. That's not what I mean. But the difference this has made with a lot of people is mind. Again, I was talking with this doctor a while back, and she's a cancer specialist, a medical doctor, cancer specialist. And she uses these products a lot in her practice. And she told me that most of our diseases start in the gut. And I asked her, I said, so you feel cancer starts in the gut? And she never flinched. She said, absolutely. She said, if we have a healthy gut, we can prevent a lot of problems. Now, obviously, I'm sure not all cancer starts in the gut, but.
Joe, may I ask you?
Sure.
Why do you take it at night, the ProBio at night?
Why I take the ProBio at night? The probiotic is designed to, well, most probiotics, you take them and they don't digest fully. Like your body only gets less than 20% of the value of the probiotic, most of them.
Okay.
But it does better when your stomach has the least amount of food in it. So, this is a time-release probiotic that's much, much more available to the gut than the average probiotic. In fact, I have not found one yet that comes close to this. I've had a lot of people that pick this up and say, well, the probiotic I'm taking is a lot stronger, so why would I take this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was one of those. When I was sick, I took very strong probiotics, acidophilus, bifidophilus, many things for gut health. And those all combined, I can honestly say didn't come close to doing what this does.
So you would take the prebiotic in the morning,
The prebiotic, you can take that about any time you want, really.
but you would recommend the probiotic at night?
I do.
Okay. Good,
I get a
thank you.
lot more benefit if I take it in the evening. I tried it in the morning, I didn't try it midday, just morning and night, and I get much more benefit in the evening.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, I was gluten free before I started this, and well, that could be another long topic, but I really enjoy health in general. I'm actually looking into a dietitian class as well, just because I want to help people as much as I can. But there's a lot we can do with diet.
Can you explain a little bit about how this probiotic, or many probiotics don't get past or don't get to the morning food where you don't get it up?
So, as you mentioned, a lot of probiotics do not reach your where they really should be because the stomach acid eats them. So they're not really available to the stomach. And that's why most of your probiotics, not all of them, but most of your probiotics are less, it's actually less than 12% available to the stomach. And anybody that has internet access can look it up. You don't have to take my word for anything I say this evening. We have, there's a doctor's website where they go to look up products, look up research. It's called pubmed.gov. And there are many, many different articles on there that explains it a lot better than I can. But the probiotic has made a tremendous impact on many people's lives. Let's face it, most of us have some type of gut issue. We just don't want to talk about it. Most of us have diarrhea or constipation or some type of an issue that we don't really want to talk about. But if we take care of that problem, our body can heal so much better with other issues that we're working on, we're faced with. The daily wellness. This product is more specific toward gut health. It's probably one of the best immune boosters that I know of. As you know, we've had a lot of flus, if you will, in the past. And the results that people got taking this blew my mind. I knew what it does, but the results were beyond what I expected. Much different than I expected.
Joel,
Yes.
I took some of that out when you weren't here. When you were outside after supper,
Okay.
my little grandson was coughing, so we mixed some for him. I said, "Try this, see what it does." I told them your story, how it cleared up your cough in a short time. So I don't hear him coughing now, but he's drinking his bottle.
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
I had a cough and a cold. It was kind of embarrassing because I do health for a living. And I had this cough last winter for quite a while. And someone told me, why don't you try and I admit I didn't take it up to that. But I started taking daily wellness. I took it twice a day. And in about 8 days, the cough and cold that I had for over 3 months totally disappeared. So I'm a very firm believer in the daily wellness. We don't want to run out. Even if the children are getting a flu or anything, that's the first thing I reach for. The pet handle. This is more, well, for dogs or cats. And when this first came out, I thought, well, who would buy this for their dog? But we have a commercial kennel, and we use this on our breeders, and the vet can actually tell the difference. If we have a litter that we don't give the Protandim, that actually can pick that litter out of the other litters. They just don't have that healthy, vibrant look that the ones do with the pet animals. And that's the vet picking it out, not me saying, can you tell a difference? He actually can tell a difference. The hand cream, we love this hand cream. It's very, it's not greasy. I'll pass it around to try it. Very concentrated, doesn't take much. I love it. But yeah, feel free to take a squirt, pass it around. It feels really good on the hands. It's not greasy at all. It really helps with chapped hands and a lot of other anything you use hand cream for. They have a shampoo, conditioner, and a hair serum that we really like. Most of our conditioners, shampoos that we use nowadays, we may go to the dollar store or wherever we buy the cheapest shampoo we can find that smells great. But where are we dumping those toxins at? Right on our head. And since I started doing research on toxicity in products, these products mean a lot more to me. There's actually an app, and it's not what you might think it is right away when I say it, but it's called Think Dirty. And you can actually put any product on that, and it will tell you the rating of toxic level in it. And this is one of the lowest ones on that app. It's very, very safe, very healthy. Then they also have the hair serum. Um, I used to have a lot of hair, and then I used just recently I said, well, you can't have hair and brains both. But maybe we can now with the hair serum. But yeah, with that does work. I could share stories of people that had genetic issues that got spectacular results with the hair serum. Then they have a sunscreen, very healthy sunscreen. The fat burn. The fat burn is not just to lose weight. If we tend to have gut issues, most of our, especially if we have constipation issues, a lot of that fat around our stomach area is where those toxins store in or live in, and this targets the fat around the stomach area. Therefore, a lot of people get huge benefits from the fat burn, even as a people with heavy metals or whatever. There's a lot of people that get very good results with that. They have an eye bright, which is more specific to eye health. And when this came out, I honestly didn't pay much attention to it. But I see a big difference with the eye see bright. Dr. Bueller, do you mind sharing a little bit what the IC Bright did for you? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Actually, the main thing it did for me is the glare at night when I was driving, and then especially when it's like, or when it's raining and it's like really black outside and lights coming towards me. The glare would really bother me, and since I'm taking the IC Bright, it's taking care of that glare. I hardly have any. I really like it.
Thank
And I
you.
was off of it for a month after I had started. Then I was off of it for a month, started realizing that this glare was coming back. And so I went back on it in just a short period of time. I could tell a big difference again.
I'm hoping you would share the last part. And they have the skin creams. I never thought I would use the skin creams, but we use them a lot. They have a cleanser, eye serum. They changed the labels just recently. The True Hydrate and the True Renew. There's a lot of before and after pictures of not just wrinkles, but burns, psoriasis, a lot of different things. And if anybody has the way to look it up, like the study that the American Cancer Association did on the NRF2 is really amazing. They actually took the pills, crushed them, and put them on skin cancer. And then they recommended, they were actually, I guess, the call for the company to come up with the skin creams. Tremendous what has happened with the creams. This box is actually just the Synergiser in a daily packet with the different products in it. Just open it up, take the pack, and you have your pills for the day. Very convenient. They have quite a few different packs where you can buy product together to save money. But we can't forget about the Axia. Morris, do you mind sharing a little bit what you get out of the Axia? I'm going to pick on you.
Yeah, that'd be good. Prior to taking that, I had problems focusing, and we have 3 preachers at our church, and one is more of a teacher than a preacher. He's a little harder to follow, so I would nod off. And at our church, Beulah can sit beside me, or you should have seen the spot on my ribs. Anyway, once we got introduced to this and started taking it, I told her, I'm gonna take a whole one before I go to church. Usually I drag it out like all morning. But that morning I took it before 9 o'clock and that black and blue spot is gone. I don't go to sleep anymore. She would never have come with me. So, yeah, to focus and to remember things. I had a big problem remembering, even little things. If we're talking about church, there were times that after church, I had to stop and think what the preacher preached about, And also the other thing is, my mind was in a way that there were times I drove right past our own driveway. And you can call it what you want. I didn't like what the doctors were saying. But after I've been on that, I got a lot of help from it. You might ask me things afterward.
Well, share a little bit what the other products have done for you, if you like.
Okay. Yeah, I take the Synergiser. It's a pack of 3 different ones, but there's actually 5 pills, and I take that once a day. When Beulah first met Joel, she come home, we decided that we would go on it, and so once we got the product, I started taking it. Because of being a diabetic, I had lost feeling in my feet and legs. And I was on that 7 days. And I stood up from my chair and started walking out to the kitchen through the living room. And all of a sudden, I felt something that I had not felt in a long time. I actually started having feeling from my knees, went down through my legs and out the feet. So I still am not totally to where it was before, but now I can feel water spraying on it. I even felt something on my leg here a month or so ago, and I looked down, and I don't shave my legs. I'm not that type of guy. But it was a fly landed on my hair of my leg. So, yeah, I can feel again what I couldn't. Now, one other thing, Joel, if you don't mind, the icy bright you talked about, I had cataracts. I had them removed. I went to a specialist, and he said, you got blood on your eye and the back. And he said that if it keeps going, you'll get blood on your other eye, and we'll have to start giving you shots in the eye. And that just give me a anyway. I had started on that probably a month and a half prior to going in for another checkup. And I went in, he did the routine checkup where they put the dye in your arm. They do all the stuff so they can see what's happening in your eye. And he did his routine thing and he came back afterwards and he just shook his head. He said, "You don't have any blood in that other eye." And he said, "The eye that had the blood, that's gone." And like Beulah said, the glare from the nighttime driving, that's gone. And I was telling Nick here that even the floaters that were in my eyes, if you know what that is, little black things kind of floating around, that's gone. So, yeah, I actually had, can I tell one more thing?
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure if you're going to tell something about me, but go ahead.
No, this was, my kidneys had started shutting down. And the doctor told me I was going to have to start dialysis if it kept getting at that. And because of that, I think it was either 6 months or a year later when I went in for the follow-up, Joel. The doctor said your kidneys are looking fine and they're working good. So, yeah.
One thing that I want to mention though that I noticed, and I know none of you noticed it with Morris because you didn't know him before. When I first met Morris, he had a very hard time walking, and he always walked cane. And I didn't see your. Did you use your cane at all today?
I use it. I have it in the van, but haven't been using it. But
Oh, that's great.
there, yeah. But Joel, a lot of people think this is a supplement, but it's an activating company. And he mentioned it just briefly, where these products activate the cells in your body that have shut down. And that happens as you get older. But anyway, so.
And that truly is something that really excites me. I'm very blessed with a couple doctors that I work with, medical doctors that work with a lot of different ailments, and they continue to do research and to keep the best products out there. But I love the research, I really do. But what really inspires me is the result. I have a lot of friends that we made over the years that I would have never had the opportunity to make friends with if it wasn't that God let me go through what I did. It may sound odd to some people, but when I was struggling, I really had no vision for anything in this life. I didn't feel I had any reason to live anymore, and I really didn't want to because I had so much pain. But when I think of all the people that are hurting out there, it just gives me a reason or a passion to continue sharing this with people. And I think about all these people that are on their knees praying for a solution. And I could honestly share stories of people with severe cancer, depression, hormone issues. The list goes on and on. That when I met them, that's what they have, and today they have a very normal life. And it just gives me a reason to continue to share these with people. I'll be very honest with you. You can buy these products here at Joel, or you can set up through them to get them direct from the company. You can buy them for the same price that I can. But whatever you choose to do with the information, I can honestly say I am not attached to your decision at all. But my goal is to make a difference every day, one person at a time. And she has some literature here. My mind, I would love to share a bunch of stories, success stories that we have, but I don't want to bore you with time either. But I will be around if you have questions. Be glad to share my number with you. I feel very blessed to have been sick. I know that may sound odd. When I think back of the difficult time that we had with, like even with helping my wife plan my funeral, that was something that words cannot describe. So if you're struggling with something, if you're going through something in life and life looks big to you, just know that God doesn't give you anything that He's not willing to help you with. And to me, that's a miracle that each of us can have every day. It's just been a true blessing to have the friends we made. Is life perfect? No, life is not perfect. But I just want to assure you that it is worth living. So my goal is just to live as healthy of a life as I can while I'm here. And that's what my goal is, to help other people with. So, if you have questions, feel free to ask them. We have some literature here. Again, I want to thank you for coming out. And whatever you choose to do, I truly wish you a healthy, happy life and God's blessings.
Can you
Thanks.
elaborate a little bit on how the Protandim for the supplement or the the oxidative stress, how that relates to anemia, or even though there is a lot of research on the LifeVantage products, and we can't claim how oxidative stress and diseases are related, and the research that shows reduced oxidative stress healthier health.
Yeah, there's actually, I don't have internet access, but there's actually a video that explains that really well, that this Dr. Joe McCord researched. Well, actually, there was ABC News did a primetime investigative report on these products because of what they heard that it does for people, and it sounded too good to be true. So they actually sent, and some of you that watch the news may remember a gentleman by the name of John Quinones. He actually went to Dr. Joe McCord, and they took a blood sample, and they told him to come back in 30 days to do another sample. In the meantime, he started taking his product, and he was very interested in how it works, but he was sent there by the medical universities basically to debunk the company, put the company under. And he came back around 15 days later, and his oxidative stress level had dropped by 42% in 15 days. That is a huge thing. And when this aired on ABC News again, the update, the company actually sold out of their product, and it took them a while to rebuild it. But to answer your question, how does it get rid of the oxidative stress? if we do research on oxidative stress, the
Uh,
oxidative
that,
stress,
that's not really what I meant. I meant the relation between oxidative stress and disease. How you can look up oxidative stress and how that reduced oxidative stress is primarily how that reduces disease. If you know what-
yeah, well, oxidative stress is directly linked to over 250 major diseases. And by reducing the oxidative stress, maybe this is not exactly what you have in mind, but by reducing the oxidative stress in our body, we can't say that it will get rid of any diseases. But if you look up oxidative stress and how it's associated or related to the diseases, oxidative stress is the cause of a lot of diseases. And if we reduce that chance of the oxidative stress, um, like I said, I can't tell you that it will cure anything, but for some reason I know of quite a few people that had cancer that don't anymore.
Yeah, that's the part that I meant. If you reduce, we have research to show that the oxidative stress will be reduced with Protandim.
Definitely on all, and the FDA does allow us to say that.
And there's enough research to show that oxidative causes diseases. Oxidative stress causes disease. And so it's very logical that reducing oxidative stress will reduce the chance.
Definitely. Or, yeah, if you have it for some reason, it mysteriously disappears.
It creates some fascinating coincidences.
Yeah, it does. Yep, for sure. But like I said, you don't have to take my word for any of this. There's research out there that's proven time and time again. But yeah, if you're interested in the products, get back with the person that invited you, or talk to Joel or Anna. There's they also have it in their store here.
Can you share what the difference is in the Axia with the caffeine and decaf?
Sure. There's two different types of Axia. There is one that has a little bit of natural caffeine, and they have one that is called the decaf. The decaf has it right on by the O, it says decaf. The caffeinated one gives you more of an instant boost. What I like about the Axios, they give you, I don't really know how to say it, just a more of a positive mental focus. I really struggled with energy during times that I was struggling with Lyme's and my depression. The Axios gave me a boost. I just felt better. I felt more like I could tackle life. But I found more help with the one with a little bit of caffeine. There's 6 different flavors available now. There's a mixed fruit, dragon fruit, purple grape, green grape, cherry, lemonade, which is just became available. Missing more.
Red raspberry.
Red raspberry. But the one with, we could talk a lot about seizure activity in the body and a lot of different things. I don't want to get too technical medically, but if we have problems with seizures, then we have a low mitochondria level in our body, and these products I have friends that have gotten drastic results with those types. But the one with caffeine, definitely you get a quicker boost. And what I like about it, it's not a surge of energy. It's a very healthy, safe energy. Anybody can take it. You don't feel that rush coming on and then a crash. It's, as I say, guilt-free, sugar-free. There's no sugar, no carbs. They're very healthy. My little boy, it was kind of funny when he was a little boy. He He loved the Axios. He would sneak out a little pack. They come in little packs. He would sneak out a little pack and suck on it, suck on the dry powder. It's a little hard on my pride to mention this, but I guess I will since we're talking about the Axio. When he started talking, obviously his first word was mom, and rightly so. And I wish I could say the second word was dad, but it was Axie. So we love you, Axie.
Two big things on the Axio for me were brain fog. I had major brain fog for 7 years, and since I'm on the Axio, I have no brain fog. It was just a very short period of time before I didn't have any more brain fog. And another thing is my sleep at night. I sleep a lot better. I have a much more restful sleep. So it's two major things for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it is safe for children.
Oh yes, we use it a lot on ADHD children, autistic children,
Struggling in school.
struggling in school.
Would
Our
that
daughter
be- would
was
that be
really
cheaper?
struggling in school.
Okay.
What's that? Go ahead.
What was-
Oh, is that the decaf you use on children, or would you
No,
use
you
decaf?
can use
Either one. Yeah.
Ruth is
there's-
always drinking wine, and that's not the decaf.
Oh, okay.
I
She
sent,
just goes to
I
bed.
sent my son to school with Axio for the longest time. And
yeah, it does. It makes a big
It doesn't
difference.
wind them up.
One of the biggest differences I think we notice with it is, like Beulah said, brain fog, or it was a big deal for me. Like, it just gave me a lift. I don't know how I just felt better.
may I ask a question?
Sure.
Do any of the products interact or cause a problem with medical doctors' medicines? Do you know what I'm saying? Are they all benign with other medications? Do they affect other medications?
That's a very good question. Do they affect any medication or counteract with any medication? To my knowledge, that does not happen.
Okay.
Because this is all natural. My idea would be, if you can take it apart from your medication, I think you'll get more results, better results.
Mhm.
In fact, I recommend taking these products in the morning. If you have other products you're taking, if you could take them with a different meal, I think it's better. But there are people that is totally unavoidable, and they still get good results.
One more question. Sure. You brought up that one little, it's right next to the probiotics that,
The prebiotics?
no, the,
The
that's
collagen.
it, yeah.
Yes,
Can you
Carmilla.
give me a little more information about that, please?
Sure. I know I'm not supposed to share this story, but I will.
Good.
There's a friend of mine that was scheduled for knee surgery, a knee replacement.
Uh-huh.
He had bone on bone. He fell off a bulldozer, and I don't know. It was a really, really big bulldozer. The tracks were taller than he. He was not a big person. He was probably bigger than I am. He fell over that bulldozer backwards, scraped his back, crushed his back, and really hurt a lot of his vertebrae. And I'm not sure if his knee was cracked or. Anyway, he had major knee issues, bone on bone, which he had that in back too. He got a lot of results with the Synergiser, but when he added the collagen, he told me that he actually doesn't need his surgery.
Is that a liquid or?
It is a liquid. This is a daily dose. Some people look at this and go, "Wow, that's really expensive."
Mm-hmm.
When I think back of where I was, yes, I'm not guaranteed one day. I'm not guaranteed to see the time to take my shoes off.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think back of where I was, what we were spending to try to be healthy, and where I am now, that's what motivates me to try to help other people. My friend now is not on any pain medication anymore. And does he ever have pain? Yes, he does. He's a human being. But what this does, well, I'll tell you what the doctor told him. The doctor told him that it's impossible once you have that cartilage missing or that cushion missing between the bone to grow that back. Well, for some reason, when he goes and gets his x-rays or his exams done, he has some there. I'll let you decide how it got there. That, in doctor's terms, is totally impossible. In fact, they told him. The doctor told him one day, whatever you're doing, keep doing. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And he told him, oh, I'm on some kind of a natural product that, and the doctor didn't even let him finish. He said, that is not what happened. It just happened. He said, that is impossible.
Thank you, Joe.
So I'll let you decide. Because probably if I had that issue, I would take.
I was curious. Our oldest son struggles with eczema, off and on pretty badly. Do you have any creams, like, are any of them targeted for like eczema and stuff that have success stories?
If I had that issue, or one of my children had that issue, I would start with the gut.
Yeah, he definitely has gut issues for sure.
I know that may sound silly to some people, but you can put all the creams on you want, and I'm not against that. I would use these creams. But my idea would be to start with the gut, because obviously most rashes stem from a gut issue.
Yep.
We
And
do
I'm
know
sure
he-
his does.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we know he has some gut issues for sure.
Yep.
You're actually eating gluten-free because of him, right?
Well, we went gluten-free for a year, and then we started Joel and Anna sell crushed wheat, and so we tried that for a while. Probably,
I think it's helped.
what would you say, over the last year? I think. We were told by our naturopath that his body still doesn't seem to like it, but
I think it's helped.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I was curious with the probiotic. Have you ever heard of the Claire Labs probiotic? Okay, how does that compare?
That has a yellow bottle, like yellow label, right?
Isn't it blue?
I think it's blue and white, at least the current.
Yeah,
the one
that's
that
what we
have
had been
is-
giving our son.
What was the name of it again?
Claire Labs. We had borrowed a book from a friend called The Unprescription for Autism. And of course, we don't know if our son has anything like that, but it talked about targeting gut issues, and those were what she recommended. But I was wondering, how does the Claire Labs probiotic compare to the ProBio?
I can't honestly answer that question. But I do know with the research that that the doctors that I work with have done, they say they research just about everyone they can find, and they always come back.
Okay. And could you crush it to give to a small child?
You can. This one is open, I think. This one is in a capsule, so you can
Okay.
open the capsule and add yogurt or something like that.
Oh, okay.
What I like about these products, they're safe for just about anybody to take, other than they don't recommend the NRF2 for someone that has had any type of organ transplant, because this boosts your immune system so much that usually if you have had an organ transplant, you're on an anti-rejection medication. So they don't recommend this for people with an organ transplant.
Okay, because that was actually one of my next questions was the main Protandim product. That would be safe even for, like, say, a 2 or 3-year-old to take?
Definitely.
Okay.
We have given it to infants 10 days old.
How much of one pill would you give a small child, though?
If it was up to me and it was my child, I would cut it in about 4 or 5 parts. Crush it very much, as much as you can, which is very easy to crush, and just give them immediately.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Talking about the probiotic, we were wondering, one of our boys has gut issues, and I tried different probiotic things for him already, and he had a bad breath. And it just didn't go away. He started taking probiotic. It was just a few days. He does not have it anymore.
Wow.
And others didn't, other stuff I was giving just didn't take that away.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I was totally gluten free at one time, so I like to eat my wife great cooking, so that's tough.
I'm curious too. You didn't mention one, so I'm assuming not, but does LifeVantage have, or are they planning to ever come out with a digestive enzyme?
They don't at this point, and we have the results that we get from these products are totally amazing.
Okay.
I actually don't need a digestive enzyme anymore, and I was on a very strong digestive enzyme. They are coming out with a new product very soon, in about 30 days, that I am super excited about. For anybody with any type of diabetes issues may want to check into this, or anybody that wants to lose weight. A lot of different things this will really, but we're not supposed to talk about it yet. It's super exciting, and I'm sure there's more things down the pipe.
Don't they have the protein anymore?
Yeah. No, they discontinued that quite some time ago.
Now, would you take the prebiotic and the probiotic together, or at different times a day?
I take them different times. Some people take them together. I feel I get more results if I take this in the evening before I go to bed. And then the prebiotic I take throughout the day sometimes. Sometimes I just have a protein shake at lunch with the prebiotic. The other ones.
Were there any stories or testimonies or anything that you've heard regarding fibromyalgia or multiple sclerosis, different autoimmune kind of conditions?
There are. I was actually just in Indiana last week. I'm mixed up with my time. Recently. And there was someone there that was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And there again, when she was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease, the doctors told her that once you have an autoimmune disease, you can never totally get rid of it. Well, I want to be very careful how I word this, but she just had a blood test done. And the doctor told her that she has no traces of an autoimmune. Now, this didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in years. It was 3 years. But her story is holy.
Was she pretty badly off before she started?
Yes. She was in bed more than 70% of it.
Oh, wow.
We took a little family vacation, went out by Amtrak, and spent time with her. With her family, we came to be very good friends. And she, with tears in her eyes, thanked me for being there. It really meant a lot to me. Like I said, I'm not against business, or I need to make money, but those stories to me, people that were fighting cancer or depression, whatever the issue was. And if you look up the connection with autoimmune diseases and oxidative stress, there's tremendous amount of research available. There are over 250 different diseases that are linked to oxidative stress. But there are many different types of autoimmune diseases that are directly linked to oxidative stress.
And the gut as well, I've heard, for a lot of the time.
What was that?
The gut as well,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard.
No, no. To me, I admit I was very nervous at it, doing it, but I was asked to do a topic on gut health one time, and there were medical doctors in the room and a lot of people that work with naturopaths, and I admit I was pretty nervous. But they had and I don't say this to brag, that's not what I mean, but at the end they had a comments section on the different topics, and I didn't get one negative comment. But I tried to explain a lot that evening on how the digestive system works, that breaks down our food, and how the prebiotic and the probiotics help with that. It's tremendous to me what our digestive system does to the body. If we don't have a happy gut, we don't have a happy body. It's just that simple. And that's where a lot of our diseases stem from, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did have one more question, at least for now. There are a lot of people that I've mentioned this kind of stuff to that have autoimmune diseases, and that's where, like, obviously the immune system is attacking the body. And one of the things that they take for that is an immune system depressor that makes it so it won't try to kill itself. So what would you say to somebody that hears, when their immunity is going to be boosted, they just hear, oh, my immune system is going to kill me now that it's being strengthened? What would you say to somebody that hears that?
What I like to mention to people is if they have any access to research how this impacts new healthy cells in the body and what your body can do if it produces new healthy cells to get rid of those types of diseases, I would highly recommend it, because we can tell them anything, but there are many peer-reviewed studies done by medical universities that prove this builds your immune system. I shouldn't have worded it that way. That will boost your body's ability to make new healthy cells. And if we have healthy cells, we have a healthy. And that's what I like.
Joe, may I just
Sure.
answer you, dear?
Sure.
I have lupus. I've been on Protandim for how long, Anna?
5 or 6.
Yeah. My last blood test says I'm in remission. So, and that's an autoimmune disease. So, it works. Took time, but it worked.
Yeah,
How
the
long
first
have you been
testimony.
About 5
or
years?
Yeah,
I
probably.
see.
Probably, because we probably met, probably not 5 or 6. Was
Yeah.
it 5 or 6 maybe? But you were on it then. And
Yeah.
you had pretty good results and
Probably.
stuff.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
I had a very close friend of mine that was in a wheelchair in his 20s. This was about 7 years ago. And he had a tremendous amount of seizure activity. In fact, the doctors told him he'll probably never work again. I have never before and never since seen anybody get as fast a results as he did for that. Well, I guess I shouldn't have said it for that, but for some reason he was in a wheelchair and he is no longer in a wheelchair. He has a full-time job now. So, from being in a wheelchair, his wife had to push him around in his 20s, never expected him to work again. Him having a full-time job now, it's pretty impressive. And he used to go to Mexico to go get stem cell treatments. He doesn't get that.
Now to get that kind of a result, because my husband's asking, because my mother has MS, and her quality of life is, and I actually have fibromyalgia, but my mom, it's not like it should be at all. She's in pain all the time. She has trouble walking, trouble breathing, etc. She actually, due to her, I think it was probably due to her MS, she passed out and broke both her wrists just like a month ago while visiting us. They live in Canada. Would she have to take all 3 of the blue bottled products to see results, like to actually get a quality of life back?
If it was me and I had that problem, I would at least want to take the NRF2 and the colony. These
Okay.
are available in Canada.
They are, okay.
If I was in Canada this evening and you were all with me in Canada, I would talk about the collagen a lot more.
Oh.
I'm allowed to say a lot more when I'm in Canada than I am in the United States.
Oh.
For some reason, if I
Okay.
was in Canada, now not here, I can't say this here, but if I was in Canada, I would tell you this is the best cardiovascular, the best natural cardiovascular help that is available. No, I can't say that here.
Nice job.
Because I'm not,
That's what you would say.
yeah. But if, now, obviously, we can't have we don't have access to the research that they do in Canada on this product. But if I'm in Canada, I talk about it a whole lot more because there's actually medical doctors prescribing this in Canada for their heart patients.
Oh my, wow.
I would tell you that story if I was in Canada.
Well, that's good to know.
You
Thank
could
you.
always tell us after the meeting's done.
Do they don't add maple syrup to it when they sell it in Canada, do they?
They do not.
Stretch it out a little further.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm very, very excited about the college.
No, but you would recommend though that like, because my mom is unfortunately like she's on like a bunch of different, medications and she's on, a strong painkiller, prescription painkiller. Those would not interact with it,
No.
but she should take it separate.
If it's possible, even if she takes this before she eats her breakfast or whatever, and then she takes her medication after she eats. Even if she could just give it out. She doesn't have to, it's not required. I just feel you get more benefit out of it.
Now, how would she know if she could quit taking like her pain meds and stuff like that?
I am not going to tell you that she can, but I know of a lot of people that, and I was one of them. I was on 3 different pain meds,
Okay.
and I don't even take Tylenol.
Well, like what I meant is like, how would she know that she could get rid of it without being in pain? Like,
Let her doctor take her off her medications.
You
That's
don't want to
something that I don't do, and I never will.
right.
For me, a lot of my medications were cut out because my doctor told me to
Oh,
take
okay.
less, that I don't need them anymore. So I would never tell somebody to quit taking their medication and take them.
Oh no, I guess kind of meant like subjectively, if you yourself would know that, say my mom was like, oh, I'm feeling really good, I don't think I need this anymore, that kind of a thing.
That is a choice that I can't make for her.
Right.
But if it was me, I would definitely take less. I did.
Is it
Some-
prescription?
Yeah.
Or is it just the doctor suggests she takes this?
No, it is prescribed. Hmm.
Yeah, I would not want to tell her to take it, to quit that, but most people, if they lower their medication, it's because the doctor lowered it, or they tell the doctor, hey, I don't think I need this as strong anymore.
Hmm. And then the doctor just tries them out on it and see how they do.
Yeah, most doctors don't like that.
What's that?
I said doctors don't like that, because they make a lot of money on drugs.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not against doctors. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for the medical doctors. We need medical doctors. But in this with our broken healthcare system, I am more excited about what we have now than I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
We have the opportunity, along with God's help, to impact many lives.
This might sound silly too. I was curious. My husband and I have always wanted a pet tandem. You said cats can take that too.
Yes.
How would that affect a cat? Like we have 2 boy cats. Like how is there any kind of testimonies on what
They
it is
don't
for
need
a
any more
cat?
energy. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I know it has For hair, skin and nails, it has things in for that, joints. It's funny because we can talk a little bit more about the pet health than we can about the people. But this is most dogs love this. We actually had a dog that we had to watch where we put it. She would get it, open it up, and eat all of it.
Oh.
Because it's bacon flavored, everything's better with bacon, right? And just a quick little story on this. We had a corgi male, Pembroke Welsh corgi male, that we thought was no value to our breeding program anymore. After being on the pet tandem for less than 60 days, we realized that he is a lot of value to our breeding program anymore. It was unbelievable. Then I had a female too that we still have her. She's very old now. Way too old to have puppies, but she's just a family pet. She never had a cycle. She was 2 years old, never had a cycle. We started her on this in less than around 40 days later. She cycled. Had many years.
Now, would that even also help, like, you know how, like, oftentimes dogs, especially purebreds, are, you know, notorious for getting, like, you know, cancers and different lumps and bumps and things. Can that, like, help a dog?
Well, I know of a gentleman that had a very expensive hunting dog that had cancer, and the vet actually wanted to put him down. And my friend said, well, I'm just going to try to see if I can make him as confident as possible. And he actually started giving his dog that. And then he wanted to do everything he could for the dog. And you know what the main product does for people? So he actually started crushing some of this as well and putting it in the food. And for some reason, that dog lived many, many more years.
Oh, wow.
So it's not a cure. It's not a miracle cure. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, is that the fountain of youth?" I wouldn't want to say that, but.
So what if a dog doesn't take the pet? I have a meal that needs something, but he won't eat the pet tandem.
We have had a few, very few, that wouldn't eat them, and then they just crush it up and put it with a tiny little bit of meat or something.
And I'm giving it to my dog that has a heart murmur. With that.
If I had a dog with a heart murmur, I would certainly be giving it to him.
Are they chewable then for cats and dogs?
Yeah.
Like, you could just give it to them whole?
It's just a little wafer. There's one right here, I will show you. It's just a little wafer about the size of a nickel.
Oh, so they probably think it's a treat.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
And it's
they're
bacon
for
free. I tell
curious.
people I use of all the products except that because I don't want to start barking. Probably talk too much now.
I was curious with the pet tandem too, if it works for cats. I wonder because, you know, we do have 2 male cats, and male cats can be notorious for getting like urinary problems, and then like they die before you can get them any help. I wonder if that would like help their, you know, urinary tracts to stay healthy.
Well, there again, the NRF2 activation gets rid of oxidative stress, and if you look that up, there's many diseases that are linked to that.
Yeah, hydration would be a huge issue too in that.
Right.
Because most cats don't get near the amount of water they need to. Because, I used to do the pet store, or not the pet store, I used to do the pet department at Ace Hardware in Cooperstown. And one of the things that I learned is that cats and dogs get most of their hydration from what they eat, because usually they're in the wild, they're eating an animal that's full of fluid. So if they're eating just dry kibble and then drinking the water, they're not programmed to drink enough water to stay hydrated. They should be having like a wet source of food as well.
Yeah, that can
So,
be a problem.
and if they're not peeing enough, then they get their urinary tracts and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out, and I'll be around for a while yet if anybody has any more questions.
So do you have
I have a kennel too, but I don't actually give it to the kennel. I'm sure I know. I give it to my two houses. The one that's a heart pretty bad. He's actually on medication. Really on his around his heart.
I'm sorry. And he'll eat it?
Yes, he got the stuff. And then the other one, was just ears. Like
You're right, learn it from the best.
No, one of the meal in my kennel.